Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Rockford police released new information in the attack that killed a little boy. Counselors talk about the emotional impact on first responders handling a 3-year-old shooting victim.
Family, friends, and fellow first responders gather to say goodbye to a longtime public servant. The outdoor ceremony honors the husband and father gone suddenly.
Plus, the latest D.C. firestorm focuses on Twitter. The question is whether the site used censorship to protect a presidential candidate or if it was filtering false information. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
We begin with an update in the Rockford murder investigation of a 3-year-old boy.
Police told us this morning the shooting was a targeted attack. They're talking to people who were inside the apartment at the time. The shooting happened yesterday morning on Court Street near Whitman. The boy was shot in the head and died at the hospital. This is the 26th murder in Rockford this year. Winnebago County's state's attorney says this one is especially tough.
In the last week, the Rockford Police Department has had 3 death investigations that are active and ongoing. But the latest death investigation obviously has pricked the hearts of all of us because it involves the death of a 3-year-old child.
Our crew on the scene recorded what looked like bullet holes outside of the home. Chief O'Shea says there is currently no danger to the public.
Police did arrest one person inside the home for charges unrelated to the child's murder. Officers took this man into custody yesterday for weapons violations. Hyde Ross said that crime happened earlier this week. She also said he is a known felon. The death of someone so young is obviously hard on his loved ones. It's also tough on first responders.
They showed up on a scene like that, have to remove all emotions and focus on their jobs. A local counselor tells Dylan Strachey that can take a toll on mental health.
A local nonprofit that connects first responders to mental health resources tells me more people are reaching out this year than ever before. They want to remind officers it's okay to ask for help.
Seeing and dealing with events from yesterday are very, very difficult for the first responders.
Rockford Police Chief Don Gasparini says events like Thursday's shooting can stick with officers long after they leave the crime scene.
They have to deal with that, not just yesterday, but going forward.
Kevin Polkey is a licensed clinical social worker who has experience working with first responders. He says they might be more susceptible to trauma in situations that can connect to their personal lives.
If you're a father or you're an uncle, you're an aunt, you're a mom, and then you see a 3-year-old, then that brings you back to when your child was a 3-year-old. Or if you're pregnant or your wife was pregnant, then that brings you back to that space, and there's that vulnerability.
O'Shea says there are support services in place for officers who may be struggling to cope.
We always try and take care of first responders and the officers and the detectives. We check on them, but we also have multiple avenues that they can get to make sure that they can deal with it as well.
Fellow officers are great support staff, but sometimes you need medical help, and you shouldn't be ashamed to seek that help because that's what it's there for.
Ted Getty is a retired Rockford police officer and current board member of the Greg Lindmark Foundation. The organization was created in 2015 to help first responders who may need additional mental health support. Getty says a stressful 2020 has led to an increase in people reaching out.
There's a lot of depression going on right now because of the pandemic, and people aren't able to do the things they want to do, visit with the family they want to visit with. So it takes a toll on you, and it also takes a toll on the officers too, because every time they go to a call, that's what they're faced with.
Getty encourages any first responder who needs help to reach out to the Greg Lindmark Foundation through their website or Facebook page. Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Dylan Strachey.
We will continue to follow this story as new information comes in. Keep track of it all on our website, mystateline.com. Meanwhile, Rockford police investigate another shooting. This one happened overnight on Cameron Avenue, just north of the Rockton Avenue Shopping Center. 2 people were shot inside their home. They're expected to be okay. No arrests have been made. Local police and the community pay their respects to a deputy chief who passed away. Today is Don Gasparini Jr.'s visitation. Gasparini served more than 25 years with the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department. The service started with full law enforcement honors. It ends in less than an hour at State Line Church on Perryville Road. Gasparini died suddenly last weekend. Tuesday, police honored his memory with a procession through the city. Departments from across the state line flashed their lights in respect. It's not clear at this time what caused Gasparini's death.
The road to the White House goes through the state line. Eyewitness News is your local election headquarters. President Donald Trump will be in Janesville tomorrow at the Southern Wisconsin Regional Airport. The rally is meant to support law enforcement. Doors open at 3. The rally starts at 6. The event was originally scheduled for October 3rd, but the president contracted COVID and had to cancel. We will have a crew there and we'll bring you a full report on Eyewitness News tomorrow. The Rock County Sheriff's Office expects a big turnout. Highway 51 will be closed between Highway 11 and Town Line Road starting at 9 a.m. Blackhawk Technical College is the designated parking area for the event. Drivers are urged to use County Road G to get to campus. Thousands of absentee ballots in Wisconsin may be thrown out. Election officials found mistakes after voters sent them in. Those mistakes include missing signatures and addresses. In Milwaukee, those ballots will be sent back and voters may get a call or a text. In the April primary, more than 20,000 ballots were rejected across the state.
Republican lawmakers call out Twitter for blocking a post related to Joe Biden's son, Hunter. Democrats are pushing back, saying the social media giant simply protecting the public from false information. Raquel Martin keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
Quit censoring us.
Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley is demanding answers after Twitter prevented users from sharing a damaging post about Hunter Biden.
The most powerful corporations in American history are now trying to stop the news from reporting on the Joe Biden campaign.
They're being protected by big tech.
Twitter originally said it blocked the New York Post article because it contained potentially hacked or private information. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey now admits the decision was wrong. Still, Republican senators are calling on Jack Dorsey to testify before Congress and say it's time to hold social media platforms more accountable.
It is more urgent than ever. If you get discriminated against, if you get censored, allow them to sue Facebook. Allow them to sue Twitter.
And I wonder if this is more about political theater than actually getting answers.
Carl Zaba with NetChoice, a firm representing platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, says he doesn't trust the federal government to regulate speech online.
Are they really trying to regulate in ways that will help consumers, or mostly just in ways that will help their political aspirations?
And while Democratic Senator Mark Warner agrees the law needs review,
I think it is long overdue.
He says Twitter was right to act.
The story that's in question, there have been allegations made that it is the result of Russian disinformation, misinformation.
The Senate Judiciary Committee will vote to subpoena Twitter CEO next week. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Dorsey says Twitter will no longer remove hacked content unless it's directly shared by hackers. For the second day in a row, Illinois sets a record for COVID cases.
More than 4,500 new infections were reported. This after more than 87,000 tests were processed. 38 more people died. There are nearly 36 counties at warning level. That includes Boone, DeKalb, Joe Davies, Lee, Stevenson, and Winnebago. A new study suggests a drug to improve COVID survival rates doesn't actually help out that much. The World Health Organization reports remdesivir had the same success rate as other treatments. The study involved more than 11,000 patients in 30 countries. However, other experts say the study was poorly done, saying patients and doctors knew what they were using, canceling out a placebo effect.
After a shorter than normal summer break, Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl is back. Season 7 begins this weekend with a special preview show. We'll look back at Season 6, how we got our final 4 games completed, hear from past players, sort of a Where Are They Now segment, and do a quick preview of our upcoming matches. That show airs tonight at 6:30, right after our newscast here. You can catch it again Sunday morning at 8:30 on my network TV and Sunday night at 9:30 on Fox 39. Brand new games start next weekend.
Now your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Doom.
Let's start with a live look over the Poplar Grove Airport using Commercial SkyTrack, where we're now seeing a lot more blue sky than we were for most of our Friday. Temperatures today were on the cooler side of average once again, only reaching the middle 50s, even lower 50s in several areas. Upper 40s to lower 50s are where we sit right now. We're at 52 currently in Rockford, whereas it's 49 in Freeport, 52 in Janesville, 51 in both DeKalb and in Rochelle. It's also very windy today. You can see wind gusts are still strong as we head into the evening hours, still at around 25 to 30 miles an hour in several areas, including here in Rockford right now, seeing wind gusts nearing 28 miles an hour or so. But the winds will really pick up for tomorrow. If we take a look at some wind gusts, we'll be waking up to 25 plus mile an hour wind gusts. Then by the early afternoon, those gusts could be exceeding 45 to even 50 miles an hour, and they will remain strong as we head into the evening hours as well. This actually spawned a wind advisory to be issued, and that goes into effect tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. for the entire state line and lasts into the evening hours. If you're wondering why we're going to be so windy, well, it's because we have a system of low pressure. It's actually going to bring us a chance for a little bit of rain Sunday morning, but for now it sits way up to our northwest. So these lines you're seeing here are lines of atmospheric pressure. Now, as the system approaches the state line, it causes these lines to sort of bunch up real close to each other over the state line, and that actually brings up our wind speed. So when atmospheric pressure changes quite a bit over a small area, that makes our winds much stronger. In fact, differences in pressure is where our winds come from in the first place. Now, these winds are going to be accompanied by some very dry conditions as well, which creates a very significant fire risk tomorrow. So please avoid burning anything outside for your Saturday tomorrow. I know it's the weekend, and I know it's the time of year where you're probably seeing a lot of leaves start to fall, so you might want to be tempted to get rid of some yard waste. Please avoid burning at least until we see some calmer winds and some more moist air here in this part of the state line. Now, taking a look at our recent satellite and radar, we've seen some light isolated showers move through over the past several hours. That continues to do so. And now, as you can see, but very few light isolated showers here. And then most of the rain should be out of here in the next couple of hours. Rain should move out by around 7 o'clock or so. And then we'll start to see a little bit more cloud cover move in overnight tonight. So we're going to see some mostly cloudy skies overnight and into tomorrow morning. There's a slight chance we could see a few light showers tomorrow morning as well. We're actually hoping we get those, bring a little bit more moisture into our air and sort of decrease that fire risk a little bit. And we're going to hang on to those cloudy skies pretty much through the rest of our Saturday and through Sunday morning as well. Now, Sunday morning could be waking up to some showers, possibly even a few snowflakes as well. It's definitely going to be cold enough. None of that snow, of course, is going to stick, however. Then we'll see a little bit of clearing in our cloud cover for Sunday evening. Now, temperatures tonight will drop into the mid-30s. A few evening showers accompanied by some mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight. Those will hang on through tomorrow as well as temperatures reach the mid-60s. These strong winds are actually going to help warm us up quite a bit, but a cold front coming through Sunday morning, as we saw, is going to bring us down into the upper 40s. 40s then sticking around likely through Monday as well. We should be back into the 60s, however, by the end of this upcoming week.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lepper.
A 4-1 start by the Bears is impressive. They've found ways to win games, so can they do it again Sunday at Carolina? If there's a game in which the Bears' struggling offense has a chance to get going, this is it. The Panthers' defense ranks only 25th in the NFL, and the Panthers might have the worst run defense in the league. They're allowing 133 yards rushing per game. It's been 10 days since the Bears' last game, last Thursday night. More time for Nick Foles to get further up to speed with the offense. The concerning part for the offense is the guys up front have done a poor job run blocking in recent weeks, and the loss of James Daniels is a big one. The Bears' defense is healthy and ready to roll. Teddy Bridgewater is a capable quarterback for the Panthers, but they're not the same offense without Christian McCaffrey. Do ex-Bear Mike Davis and Robbie Anderson, the Panthers' best weapons, really scare anyone? Add it all up, and I'll take the Bears in another close one, 24-20 over the Panthers. There will be a lot more firepower on display after the Bears-Panthers game when the Packers and Buccaneers go at it. Tom Brady should be driven to get a win after his mistake at the end of the game in Chicago last week proved costly. And the Bucs expect to have receiver Chris Godwin there back in action. He's been out with a hamstring injury. The Bucs defense is solid, but I'm not sure there's a defense in the NFL that can shut down the Packers when they're healthy. And now the Packers will have Devontae Adams back to go with Aaron Jones and Robert Tonyan and number 12. And the Packers should be better on defense because Kenny Clark is ready to go for the first time since he injured his groin in the season opener. Zadarius Smith and Rashawn Gary are dinged up, but they will likely play and go after Brady. I like the Packers to remain undefeated. They'll beat the Buccaneers 36-24. That's sports. We'll be right back.
have a look at our first warrant interactive radar, sponsored by Rockford Auto Glass and more. We've had a few light showers move through over the past several hours. That holds true now as we head on into the evening, but these showers will be out of here in the next few hours. Then we'll actually see an increase of cloud cover overnight, leading to some mostly cloudy skies for most of the overnight hours. Temperatures dropping into the mid-30s. Tomorrow it's going to be significantly warmer in the lower 60s. However, it's going to be very windy. Winds gusting as high as 45 to possibly even 50 miles an hour, particularly in the early and mid-afternoon hours. Could see a slight chance for a few very light showers in the morning. A better chance comes through Sunday morning, when we can maybe see a little bit of snow mixed in there as well. Temperatures dropping all the way down to the upper 40s. 40s likely sticking with us into Monday as well. 50s for Tuesday and Wednesday. 60s by the end of the week. Plenty of good rain chances over the week ahead.
I liked it better when there were 70s up there, Kevin. Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks for watching. Stay safe.